still not there. Yeah. I was sure that they had sorry. Yep. But there's, you know what, I'm not calling that. I'm so much better off. Yeah. Yeah. I'm thankful that I am. Right. It's just I'm not ready. Right. I'm not ready. It's the best job ever. I did it in the past, right? All my other jobs were too busy. At this point in your life, huh? Yeah, I couldn't keep up with the pace that you are.
I've been to Sam's Club.
Just barely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Although we're not letting volunteers in right now either.
Just got text from the dentist again, 19.
Oh, good. Okay, we are live. We'll start in just a couple minutes. Clean up our field here.
Chill back then. Carlos is nice. That's nice. You didn't know him, so you could say, hey, Carlos, help me with this. I think your best bet is that you don't have one arm. I do it with one arm and I push it to help her for her back. But yesterday I asked Christian, I'm like, Christian,
You got your keys?
help me. And he came over.
Well,
I mean, I had it up already, but he came over right at the end, so he said, let's go help me. Just have somebody help you out, and maybe that, you know?
Okay.
Check your stuff just because, you know, he might have done it, but he had, you know what, everybody's got to watch their own stuff. You're on the bike, it's like driving. You know? That's all. It's a lesson learning move, Chloe, and that's all you should make it. You know? Otherwise you make more of something you don't know. Yeah. So just have somebody help you. That might change things.
Okay.
Nobody was skateboarding yesterday.
So, good morning, everybody.
One side of it.
Namaste, y'all. I'd like to thank the 10 of you for coming here and socially distancing. Great. So, hello everybody out there. Namaste, y'all. I believe we're going live. We are live here for the first time. I'm Dr. Brian Healy, and we're at Bunche Beach and San Carlos Bay Preserve. Marvelous location. Another beautiful day in here in sunny Southwest Florida. So, is anybody practicing for the first time? Oh, good. Welcome.
Beginner, I've done like a beginner class.
Okay.
Maybe twice.
Well, we're going to go through a fairly simple series of movements. In any of my classes, you listen to your body. Okay, that's kind of the intent of my leading you through this all. We tend to get so caught up in the mind, and we forget how to just be. And too often, this mental activity actually takes us out of our bodies, and we're thinking about our summer home and blah blah blah, and this person or that person, and we're not even aware of what's going on around us. It's just gotten, well, you see it, people looking at their phones and walk into traffic. That's a perfect metaphor for how most of us are a lot of the time. So we use the physical movements as a doorway to sort of become back in touch with our bodies. The saying coming back to your senses is very appropriate. So as we go through these various movements, all of which will be fairly simple, I encourage you to listen to your own body. So if you're doing a stretch and you get to about here and it's like, it's a little stuck, don't try and push through it. You can engage that limitation, you can engage that stuckness and back off and breathe into it. Unfortunately, there's this whole thing called gym yoga now, which is much more of an exercise. It's much more goal-oriented to accomplish a perfect posture. It's about being present in your body right now. So let's begin with a little centering. So sitting in a comfortable upright position with the intention of having the spine relatively perpendicular to the ground. And closing the eyes, relaxing the muscles of the face, and beginning to turn inwards. Starting to become more aware of your breath. Letting it grow a little slower and a little deeper. In fact, with your next inhalation, sending that in-breath all the way down into a relaxed belly. So on the inhalation, the abdomen expands a bit. And on an exhalation, the belly contracts inwards a bit. And just beginning to watch that flow of breath in and out. And with that next inhalation, the belly fills, and the inhalation continues, bringing some inflation into the rib cage. And then from the rib cage to the upper chest. And then as you exhale, slowly release the breath from the upper chest, and then the rib cage, and then the belly. So we inhale and fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. And we exhale the lungs from the top to the bottom. Feel the rise of the inhalation and the settling down of the exhalation. And as you continue to focus on breath, feeling the subtle sensations of the air moving in the body, glancing at the tip of the nostrils, flowing down the back of the throat. Feel the cooler, drier nature of the inflowing air and the moister, warmer nature of the outflowing breath. Take in the gentle sound of the surf lapping against the beach. Feel the light caress of the breeze against your skin. Feel the warmth of the sun penetrating the body. Let yourself arrive here and now. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let go of everything that was, everything that's already happened before this moment. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let go of any anticipations, anxieties, plans, agendas, any ideas about the future. Let that go too. Whatever was, was. Whatever will be, is not yet. The only reality is here and now. Past and future are just figments of the mind. Our memory and our imagination. So in this experience this morning I invite you to follow me on a journey where we go from that thinking and doing state that most of us operate in most of the time, to a breathing and feeling experience, and then to an experience of just being. After all, we're human beings. We have the unique ability that other animals do not, that we can just be and be aware of ourselves being. Very unique. Now, with your next inhalation, we're going to begin to press the crown of the head up towards the sky. Feel the lengthening of the cervical spine. And then as you exhale, beginning to drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Pressing down through your right elbow. Letting your head beginning to roll just a little bit, gently forwards and back, so that you begin to experience more fully the stretch that's occurring on the right side of the neck. And then inhale, let your head come back up to center, and then we'll drop the right ear towards the right shoulder and press lightly down through the left elbow so you get the same stretch on the other side. And once again, the head tilting a little forwards and a little back gives a bit more dimension to the experience of the stretch in the neck. There are several muscle groups there, and the slight little micro movements can help you hone in right on any particular tight or uncomfortable areas. And then inhale, bring your head back up to center, and drop your chin to your throat, feeling the lengthening in the back of the neck. And then allowing your chin to trace a line up the right collarbone towards the right shoulder. And then back down, and then up the left collarbone towards the left shoulder. And just going back and forth a few times. And notice how that feels. Notice the little massage between the throat and the underside of the jaw. Gives the thyroid and parathyroid glands a little massage. Now, lift the head and turn the face up towards the sky, and then lifting through the chin. Feel that stretch in the throat. And then see if you can extend your lower jaw out a little bit further than your upper jaw. And then stretch the mouth open wide. And then begin to make some movements with your lower jaw. And then release the movement, bring the head back up to center. Take a breath in and out. And now with the next inhalation, we'll sweep the arms out to the sides and up overhead. And now reach with the right arm, reach with the left arm, and begin to stretch from one side to the other. And then bring the palms of the hands together, interlace your fingers, and then turn the palms up towards the sky. Really lifting through the heels of the hands. Feel that stretch in the fingers, the palms, and the wrists. Inhale, lengthen yourself up out of the waist. And as you exhale now, begin to gently settle the weight into the right buttock as you press up and across with the heel of the left hand. Long, slow, deep breaths. And then inhale, bring it up. And exhale, same thing other side. And notice, is this side any significantly different? Is your experience of sensation, of mobility, any different on this side than it was on the other. And go gently one more time to each side. And let yourself breathe into any areas of resistance. It's a great stretch to open up the rib cage and allow more breath to come in. And then inhale, bring it back up to center. And now slowly we'll release the arms, bring the fingertips on top of the shoulders. Making circles now with the elbows. And beginning to explore how much movement you have in your shoulders this morning. Maybe a lot, maybe a little. Now, the shoulder joint is unlike other joints in the body because there's no bony socket. It's held together largely by soft tissue, ligaments, tendons, and musculature. And it's very important that the strength of the muscles, front to back, upper and lower, is relatively equal in order to maintain that proper alignment of the shoulder joint. Too often, in our Western lives, we have a tendency to roll the shoulders forwards and in. So throughout the class, we'll be focusing on movements that help to draw the shoulders back. Okay, release that movement. And then we're going to reach the arms out to the sides. Take a breath in. And as we exhale now, we're going to gently rotate around towards the right. Bring the left hand onto the right knee. And wrapping the right arm around behind the back as we gently look over the left shoulder. The right hand can come to the waistline or the opposite hip, or find a place on the ground behind you. Now, inhaling, we lift the head, lengthening the spine, and you may find that you can exhale and rotate a little bit more. But again, remember, more is not the goal. Being fully present in the experience, that's what the intention is. Take a breath in. Hold it for just a moment. And now we'll exhale and slowly release. Let the body unwind back to face forwards. And just notice now, is there a difference in the sensations coming from the right side of the chest, the left side of the chest? Difference on the side that we have opened versus the one we have not yet? Okay, next, go to the other side. Arms reaching out to the sides, reach through right fingertips, reach through left fingertips, and make sure your spine is lifted and straight. Breathe in, and then breathing out. We'll rotate around to the other side. So this time the left arm wraps around behind the back, right arm on the left knee. And use the breath. Inhalation, lengthen the spine. And exhalation, a little bit more twist. But make sure you don't harden up the muscles on the side of the neck. You want to kind of keep the sides of the neck soft. Breathe in, hold the breath, and then exhale and release forwards. Now, take a breath in. As you exhale, drop the chin, and the palms of the hands are going to float up to the back of the head. And just let the weight of the arms settle into the back of the head. Feel that additional stretch in the back of the neck, maybe going down between the shoulder blades. And then with your next inhalation, beginning to lift up, turning the face once again up towards the skies. We press back with those elbows. Remember what I said a moment ago. See if you can engage the muscles in between the shoulder blades that help to draw the scapulas, the shoulder blades, together. Lift through the chin, lift through the sternum, the chest. Breathe in. And now breathing out, we're going to curl forwards, tucking the chin and rounding forwards. Press your elbows together. Blow all of your breath out. And now inhale and lift and arch once again. And exhale and round. And now going back and forth. Nice, slow movements as you experience the forward and back movement of the spine. We inhale and come up and extend the spine, opening up the front of the vertebrae. And then as we round forwards, we flex the spine and open the back of the vertebrae. Matching movement and breath. We'll go back and forth 3 more times. And notice the spine beginning to limber up. Loosening up a little bit more each time. And one more time each way. And then finding your way back up to center. Release the arms, float the arms back down, and just pause for a moment to experience the sensations in the upper body. Probably feels a little different than before we went through those movements to open up the neck and the upper body. Okay, so let's extend the legs now. And bringing some gentle movement into them. So we'll press out through the heels, draw the toes towards the head, and just point and flex the feet a few times. And then we'll inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Take a breath in, lengthen up, and then we're just going to do a real easy forward bend. Let the hands drop wherever they'll reach. You can keep the knees softly bent. Yep, drop the hands. Yep. And again, use the breath. Inhaling, you may find that you lift up out of pose a little bit. And then exhaling, you may be able to come down a little bit more into it. But remember, we're just warming up. This is our first stretch for the lower back. And the hamstrings and the back of the legs. And then inhale and bring yourself back upright. Now, we'll separate the feet a little bit into a wide angle. Good. And once again, hands down in front. Take a breath in. And inhale and exhale. And then with the next inhalation, we reach the arms up and on either side of the ears. Lengthen up. Reach up out of the shoulders. Reach up out of the waist. Take a breath in. And as you exhale now, see if you can begin to tilt the pelvis forwards a little bit, dropping the pubic bone so that we're hinging at the hips initially. And then, when you begin to feel some resistance, you can bring the hands down. And again, just relax into the stretch. We want to keep the legs active, pressing through each heel. And taking some deep breaths. And then slowly begin to walk your hands back in. Now, once again, we'll inhale and reach the arms up, either side of the ears. And now this time we're going to turn to face that right leg. Inhale, lengthen, 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 and exhale. See if you can extend your body out over that right leg, keeping the heel pressing away and the toes coming back towards the head. Bring the hands down to the toes, or the ankle, or the shin, wherever you can reach. Now on the inhalation, we're going to reach through the crown of the head, lengthening the body over the leg, and then on an exhalation, see if you can descend the nose a little bit more towards the front of the leg. And breathe into this delicious stretch, the hamstrings, the lower back. Two more deep breaths. And then we'll walk the hands up the front of the leg and come back up to center. And guess what we're going to do next? Inhale, reach the arms up, other side of the ears. We're going to rotate to face that left leg this time. Lengthen up, lengthen up, lengthen up. And then exhale, extend out over the leg. Fingertips coming to the toes or the shin, the ankle, wherever you can reach. Remember, these poses are going to be different for everybody. We all have varying levels of flexibility and strength. And it's not a competition. Try not to compare your progress with someone else's. Each one of us is going to be different on different days as well. And again, the external form is not it. It's the internal experience that is the gem, the nugget, the treasure of yoga. Two more deep breaths. See if you can engage a little bit more fully. And then we'll slowly walk the hands up the front of the legs and gradually come back upright. Good. Now, we'll use the hands and gently help those legs close, and then bend the knees, hug the knees in, gives a great opportunity for the hamstrings to release. And then from here, we're going to come on to hands and knees. Yeah, it's a little challenging sometimes on an uneven beach. Yeah, my right side at the moment is a lot lower than my left, so. Okay, so hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, and we're gonna go back and forth with our cat-cow stretch, so take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, and gradually round the back. And then inhale, lift the head, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, big breath in, and then exhale, go back and forth. See if you can allow your movement to be nice and smooth and carefully coordinated with your breath. Exhaling as we round, inhaling as we lift and arch. So what we've gone through once, and we're going to go through again, are the 6 movements of the spine. So we have flexion, which is rounding forwards, and then extension, which is lifting back. We'll come to the other 4 momentarily. So go back and forth and see if you can create a coordinated movement from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. All of the various segments of the spine working together. Many different muscle groups and nerve innervations are required for this smooth wave-like movement. And one of the benefits, one of the physical benefits of yoga is that it helps to coordinate different parts of the body communicating and working together. Now, Come back to center. Take a deep breath in. And this time as we exhale, we're going to press the buttocks back towards the heels. Reaching the arms forward. See if you can reach forward through the fingertips and drop slightly through the chest. You'll feel a bit of a stretch perhaps in the tricep muscles or the underarms. Now, as we inhale, we're going to bring the torso forwards, dropping the belly and bringing the shoulders over the hands. You may need to adjust your hand position. So we come into a really gentle upward facing dog pose. Big breath in. And now exhale, pushing back into the puppy stretch. And inhaling forwards. And then going back and forth once again. So now we have that flexion and extension of the spine, but we're also beginning to limber up the knees, the hips, the wrists, the elbows, and the shoulders. And again, see if you can get a sense of smooth, wave-like action coming through the body. And then finding your way back into our table position. Hands under shoulders and knees under hips. So, next we're going to do, we did flexion and extension, now we're going to do lateral flexion. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to begin to bring the right ear to the right shoulder as we press the right hip towards the right shoulder. So if someone were looking down, it would look like a closed parentheses. Now inhale, come back to center, and we'll do the opposite. Left ear, left shoulder, left hip towards left shoulder, like the letter C. And then go back and forth, inhaling center, exhaling to each side. Now, you may feel this in the lower back. There are some deep lower back muscles called the quadratus lumborum. They're also called the hip hiker muscles. So that's one of the muscle groups that we're engaging as we draw the hip towards the shoulder. And now coming back to center. So that's 4 movements: flexion, extension, and lateral flexion in one direction and the other direction. Now we're going to keep the left hand planted, and we're going to raise the right arm up and then exhale, and we're going to thread that arm through the space between the left arm and the knee and lower that shoulder down. See if you can settle your weight down into that shoulder. And from here, if it's appropriate for your body, you can raise the arm up into the air. Left arm coming up. And breathe. Be careful not to hold your breath. And then we'll sweep that upper arm down and plant the hand and slowly press that hand in the ground as we come back to center. How'd that feel? Yeah, nice stretch for the upper back. So of course we're going to go to the other side. So now this time the right hand plants. We inhale the left arm up into the air, and then exhale, sweep the arm through, lowering that shoulder down gently. And if you notice, you can rock your weight a little bit around and get a nice massage in the back of that shoulder blade. And then the other arm can come up if you like. And again, keep breathing. The tendency here is to hold the breath. Take a breath in and exhale. The hand comes down. Gradually press into the hand and come back up. Now we'll just sit back on the heels for a moment, knees close together. And once again, we take this opportunity to just check in. Feel the subtle sensations, the tingling, the pulsing, areas of warmth. In my style of yoga, we take this opportunity to really let the physiological aspects of the pose, the benefits of each of the asanas, really land. Okay, and now in whatever way you'd like, we're going to gradually come up into a standing position. Let's change angles here. Okay, good. Raise this one up. Okay, give you folks back out there a little better image. Yeah, good. Still looking for a volunteer cameraman, so. Okay, so let's change that. I don't like the way that looks. Let's do it this way. Okay, yeah, I think that's better. Okay, so now we'll take and bring the palms of the hands together. Close the eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. Breathe out. And now with your next inhalation, we're going to bring the arms up overhead. And then gently firm the buttocks. Take a little back bend. Inhale, come up. We're going to interlace the fingers into a temple position. Take a breath in. And now as we exhale, we're going to press the left hip bone towards the left and begin the upper body arching over to the right. And then inhale, come up, go to the other side, and just wiggling yourself a little bit back and forth a few times. And as you go back and forth, notice that as the pelvis goes in one direction, the upper body goes in the other direction. The counterbalancing nature of the hips and shoulders. Now come back to center. Tuck the tailbone under slightly. Breathe in. And then we're going to breathe out and arch over to the right. And we're going to hold for a couple of breaths. Now there's a tendency here for the upper arm to want to roll forwards and the lower arm to roll back. But we want to stay as if we were sandwiched between two planes of glass with the ears, the shoulders, the hips, and the ankles all in alignment. Now inhale, bring yourself back up to center, and then exhale, other side. Feet are close together. I may have forgot to mention that. And breathe. Feel how this opens up the side of the rib cage and the lung. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, other side. And then one more time, back up to center. We'll separate the hands, float the hands around to the lower back, placing the heels of the hands on the upper buttocks and spreading the fingers out. Now, breathe in and breathe out as you begin to arch the back. You're going to press the hip bones forwards and lift the chin and the chest. Inhale up. And then we bring the hands to the outer hips. Breathe in. And then breathing out, we hinge forwards at the hips. And gradually come all the way forwards. Release the hands and just let your upper body hang. Let your torso sway a little bit from one side to the other, alternating bending one knee and the other. Our first standing forward bend. And then grasp the right elbow with the left hand and the left elbow with the right hand. And just let the arms and the shoulders, or the arms, release and stretch open the shoulders. Again, a little swaying from side to side. And then once again, release the hands. And over the next 3 slow breaths, we're gradually going to round upwards. Sort of moving from a question mark kind of position to an exclamation point. Letting the head come up last. And then stacking the head over the cervical spine, thoracic spine, the lumbar spine. And once again, ears and shoulders and hips and ankles are all in alignment. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now the next inhalation, reaching out with the arms once again. Palms of the hands come together, interlace the fingers. Extend the index fingers. Breathe in. And once again, we'll arch the upper body over to the right as the left hip presses towards the left. And then inhale, bring it up. And exhale, other side. Inhale, bring it up. Separate the hands. Once again, they're going to float around to the back of the buttocks. Press the hip bones forwards. Lift the chin and the chest. We use the arms here to help support the lower back. Inhale, back up. Now this time the hands are going to come to the outer hips. Take a breath in, and we're going to hinge at the hips. So the tailbone begins to rise. We're tilting the pelvis forwards, and we're going to stop halfway. Take a breath in, and exhale, continue. Lowering the torso down. Now release the hands, bend the knees, and sweep the arms around behind the legs, grasping behind each calf. Take a breath in, and as you exhale now, engage those arms, draw the belly a little tighter against the thighs, and lift through the tailbone. And then release the arms. We're going to reach the arms straight out from the shoulders to the sides and recreate that flat back. Reach through the right fingers, reach through the left fingers. Press the crown of the head towards the water. Press the tailbone back towards the brush behind you. And then inhale, bring it up, bending the knees. Once again, hands sweep around to the back of the buttocks. And a light back bend, extension of the spine, opening the chest, lifting the chin. And then we'll come back upright and release the hands. Pause for a moment and feel. Take in the effects of that asana series, half moon series. Okay, now we're going to step the feet about twice the width of the hips. Roll the shoulders around a few times, nice loose shoulders. And then we're going to swim the arms up in front and around and back together again. The hands will interlace the fingers, clasping the hands. The knuckles press towards the ground behind you. Take a breath in. And now exhaling, begin to come forwards. Releasing the head. And sway just a little bit from side to side. This pose is called Yoga Mudra, or the seal or the symbol of yoga, in which we are placing the head lower than the heart, the intellect lower than the higher knowing. Now with your next inhalation, imagine someone had a hold of your wrists. It was lifting you back up by the arms. And as the hands come back down by the buttocks, gently let them separate. And just let them release and move. You may notice a sense of buoyancy in the arms after that movement. Okay, and now into a balancing pose. So we'll bring the feet close together and just take a moment, rock your weight back and forth, heels to toes. Really taking a moment to engage the feet, the toes. Okay, and with feet close together, you may even have the inside edges of the big toes touching, perhaps. Roll the shoulders back and down. And so we'll move into the tree pose. So hold in mind that image of a tree firmly rooted to the earth, then a nice strong trunk, and then the branches grow up from it. A couple of keys to a balancing pose. Find a focal point that you can softly kind of gaze on. Now, of course, being out here on the beach, we have the horizon. The horizon is a wonderful way to, or a wonderful focus to help us stay upright. Now, we're going to start off on the right leg. So gently begin to shift your weight into that right foot and imagine roots growing down from the sole of the foot into the ground. Now, raising the left foot just slightly at first. You keep the big toe on the ground with the heel just above the ankle so that you begin to experience that weight slowly shifting into that right leg. And then finding a more appropriate place, perhaps, for the foot, either just below the knee or just above the knee. Palms of the hands come together. Breathe. Breathe down into the belly. Gazing softly at your focal point. If the horizon doesn't work for you, you can try a point on the ground about 10 feet in front of you. And then when you have your balance, you can slowly begin to lift the arms up overhead. Breathe. Feel. Breathe in, and then slowly release down, and gradually, see how slowly you can put that foot, oh, you're already there. Next time, see if you can gracefully put that foot down instead of clump. You guys are like, oh good, it's over. Okay, so now we begin on the left leg. Curl those toes down, really let them grip the ground or the mat. And then we'll shift the weight in that leg. And first of all, just start off gently with just the right toe on the ground. And then finding the right place for your foot. Now the knee should be bent and out to the side so the legs begin to approximate the shape of a number 4. And once again, palms coming together over the heart. Breathe into the belly. Imagine being lifted up from the crown of the head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel yourself grounded. And from that place of groundedness, we can grow our branches. We can ascend up because we have a strong foundation. Breathe, feel, and relax. And now the hands will slowly come down. And then releasing the foot gently. Oh, come on, guys. Oh, we got one, guys. Excellent. Yeah, there we go. You get a gold star. Okay, let's come down onto the ground. And we're going to sit with, no, we're going to come down onto our backs. So once again, a little. And just take a moment to feel your body resting down into the ground. Feel that support of the ground. Okay, relaxing down. And now draw your right knee up towards the right side of the chest and interlace your fingers around the shin. Take some deep breaths, and as you inhale, let the belly inflate against that right thigh. As you exhale, perhaps drawing that knee in just a little bit more. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, gradually now, draw your nose up towards your knee, engaging the abdominal muscles and pressing down through the lower back. And we'll hold for a minute. Not a minute, but we'll hold for a moment, but keep your breath flowing. Feel the work in the abdomen. Take a breath in. Slowly lower your upper body back down and release the leg. So of course we'll repeat on the other side now. So left knee draws up towards the chest, hands around the shin, and hug the knee in, and breathe. Expanding the belly against the thigh as you inhale. On the exhalation, the knee drawn in just a little bit more. And continue the deep breathing. This is a great pose to massage the internal organs. Take a breath in. And now as you exhale, engage abdominal muscles, press down through the lower back, roll the nose up towards the knee. Hold the position as you breathe. And now gradually, we'll lower back down. Pause for a moment. And then draw both knees up towards the chest. We'll place the palms of the hands on the kneecaps and then just steer the knees around in a circle. Ironing out any glitches or hitches in the lower back or buttocks. And now we'll lengthen the legs out. And we transition now into our deep relaxation portion of the class. So this is the opportunity, this is the rest phase, where we really have the opportunity to receive the benefits of our practice. Feel the ground supporting you. Relax the muscles of the face and the jaw. Let there be a little bit of space between upper and lower teeth. Let your throat relax. Allow your chest to expand and your heart to open. Soften your belly. Even imagining the abdominal organs settling towards the back of the body. Feel the heaviness of your arms. And feel the legs even heavier. And allow your body, or allow your awareness to scan through your body. Notice if there's any other place where you're still holding on. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Let go. And again, another big inhalation. Hold it for a moment. And then as you exhale, see if you can relax 10% more. And now for the next few minutes, there's nothing you really need to do. Nothing to be accomplished. This is that point that I mentioned at the beginning of the class, where it's your opportunity to just be. Breathe, relax, and let go. Gradually beginning to bring awareness back to your breath. Letting your inhalation grow deeper. Imagine you could breathe your breath all the way down into the tips of the fingers and the tips of the toes. Almost like your body was hollow. And beginning to bring some little movements into those fingers and toes, hands and feet. Allow your head to rock a little bit from side to side. And then drawing your knees up towards your chest and wrapping your forearms around your shins, give yourself a hug. A hug of appreciation, of gratitude for this miraculous vehicle that you've been given to ride around in. All of the amazing things that your body does miraculously every moment that you're alive. Thank your body for all it does, and perhaps apologize for all that you do to it. And then gradually, in whatever way you like, coming back up into a seated position for our closing. Just notice how you are in this moment. Hopefully a quieter mind, an easier flow to the breath, and a stronger yet more relaxed body. And lastly, I will invite you all to join me in toning the sacred sound of Om. So inhaling together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May there be peace in your hearts, peace in your homes, and peace everywhere in your lives. Namaste, y'all. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Another beautiful, beautiful day. And to those of you that are watching out there, thanks so much for joining us. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please click subscribe. If you're watching this on the Dr. Brian Facebook page, please click like. Thanks very much, everybody.